Question is, I asked before the break, will the Carolina Hurricanes ever lose again?
Nope.
They've won 9 in a row after beating the Blackhawks last night, 3-0. Marty Necas, Jesper Faust, and Jordan Martinook all scored. The Canes have now gotten a point, i.e., when they have lost, they've lost in overtime, in a franchise record 15 straight games.
Impressive.
My question, because last year in October, remember they didn't lose a game in October, and it turned out that they peaked in October.
Yeah, they kind of floundered.
Are you worried that the Canes are peaking too soon again?
No, I don't think so. I think the makeup of this team is a little bit different than it was last season because you have brought in a veteran like Paul Stastny. You do have a veteran that's still going to be coming into the fold in Max Pacioretty. Guys who have been there, done that. And so I think it's just a little bit of a different makeup. And I think also the team may have learned from last year. It's like, hey, look, we're building this we're looking at it as a 100-game season, not just the regular season. So looking at it as 100 games in terms of playoffs, everything built into that. So I think their mindset is obviously taking it day by day, but building to peak at the end of the season. Sure, they're going through a great stretch. Doesn't mean they've played great every single game or every single period in all these games. Like their second period yesterday was atrocious, but I think they're looking at it in a long-term view of just getting to the playoffs, worry about standings then.
So you went over to the arena last night. I went home. I'm watching the game on Bally Sports, right? By the time I got home, Dennis, it's 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you're playing a bad team, and the Blackhawks are a bad team, all right? You don't want to give them any hope. You don't want to give them any oxygen. Canes get the goal from Necas and Fast in the first 9 minutes of the game. So here's Rod Brind'Amour on the importance of that quick start and how it helped them win their 9th straight game.
Great start. Really, that's what put the game kind of in good shape for us. And then, we took the penalties and just took the flow right out. It was just hard to kind of get any rhythm going through that second. And then I thought third was really good.
A lot of times players and coaches will worry about the first game after a break. How nice is it to see that looked like you picked up where you left off?
That was definitely a concern. I think we talked about it in the morning. But I guess you saw first period was great, and that's nice to see that we came back ready to go.
One reason I would be encouraged if I'm the Hurricanes is they needed Marty Necas to get back to his form from 21.
Yeah.
Last year he had 14 goals. He really struggled in his contract year, especially towards the end of the season. He's such a talented player. He's so skilled. He's so fast. I remember last season people were like, oh, they need to get rid of him or, kind of overreacting to his own struggles. Oh, he's not coming back. You know what? Don Waddell made the right move. Got him on a cheaper deal, gave him kind of a bridge deal, and said, we still have faith in you. We still want you to be a part of this team. And kind of like Andrei Svechnikov the year before, where he was dealing with the contract issues and it kind of weighed down on him. These are young guys, Dennis.
Oh, yeah. He's still 23 years old.
And even though they're making a lot of money, they're about to make even more money. And it's a lot. And it could be, look, Necas already has, last night was his 15th goal.
Yeah.
He's one behind his career high now.
Yeah, that career high was 2019-2020. A season that got cut short.
An abbreviated season. He was really good in the abbreviated season.
He had 16 goals, 20 assists in that abbreviated season. Now, the abbreviated season after that, 2020-2021.
When he was 20 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 14 and 27. So his most points he's ever put up has been 41. That came over 53 games. A lot of people were expecting that pace throughout. Okay, 41 points in 53 games. Okay, well, project that out over an 82-game season. Like, well, yeah, of course, that's a second line or
everyone
top line
thinks
guy.
it's going to be steps.
Everyone
but
thinks
at that
it's gonna be
age,
steps.
he's still only 23 years old.
Yeah, and then last year we saw kind of like that regression. It's like, okay, didn't see the production last year that we all expected, but this season, it's been great to see. And what's impressive to me, two things. He's making more responsible plays defensively because a lot of times Rod Brind'Amour wouldn't trust him to go out there during a shift, possibly because, okay, well, he's making mistakes defensively. I don't think he's going to be able to recover from that. Or do I trust him enough to make those plays defensively? But he's also doing the gritty stuff. Like the goal he scored yesterday, just got to the front of that, puck just hits him and just bounces in. That's the kind of stuff that you didn't see him do in past seasons. A lot of his goals that you saw last year came in situations like overtime where he has all this open ice and he can use his speed. No, he's actually doing the gritty stuff now, and this confidence is just sky high. It's been fantastic to see.
Canes win 3-0. They've won 9 straight, gotten points in 15 straight games. It's like PlayStation numbers at this point for them.
It will end at some point.
Right.
And here's the thing, Canes fans, when it does end, doesn't
Don't
mean the
overreact.
season's over. Like, how dare they? They had this streak and then they lost to this team. How dare? Like, they could very well lose on Friday to the Panthers. Very well. But here's the thing. You got points in 15 straight. It will end at some point, but are you really going to complain?
They're in the Metro lead now. One thing I really like about this team and how they were constructed from this offseason, they knew they would get Max Pacioretty after the All-Star break. They thought February, right?
Yeah.
Maybe around the time of the outdoor game. Well, yesterday, Adam Gold on the Stormwatch broke that, Max Pacioretty yesterday practiced.
Yeah.
And not in a injured jersey.
Yeah, non-contact
So,
jersey.
you talked to Rod Brindamore about it, and Rod said that was Max's choice because he wants to see himself get ramped back up. But I love that they always knew that they had this piece coming to complement. Now, they couldn't have planned for Sebastian Aho's injury this season, but they did plan for giving Necas a bigger role, giving Jesperi Kotkaniemi a bigger role. And, Dennis, when you know something else is coming, another piece is coming, guess what that does to those second and third line guys? Hey, or Jordan Martinook. Hey, you know what? If I want to be on the ice, when Pacioretty's healthy, I need to produce.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing a lot of that push on this on the forward spots.
Well, especially if you look at that third line. You mentioned Jordan Martinook. In the 15-game point streak, he has 5 goals and 5 assists.
Yeah. When you talk about a career renaissance, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah, well, I think also with him is that he's dealt with injuries a lot over
Sure.
the last few years. I think this is actually the first time since his first season when he came to Carolina that he actually had a full healthy offseason, because he's had some hernia surgeries and things along those lines that have, obviously, you're recovering from that, so it's hard to get ramped up for a season when you're recovering from an injury. So just to see him put together these numbers up, it's been fantastic.
The